Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The State Council discusses the Labour Law Project and its role in promoting investment and reviews the Social Protection Law tomorrow. Salalah, Sohar and Duqm ports achieve an operational growth by 8% last year. And for the first time in the Middle East, floating and mobile water desalination plants are launched in Musandam Governorate. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Emmerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe on the occasion of his country's independence anniversary. Meanwhile, His Majesty the Sultan received a cable of thanks from His Excellency President Ramchandra Pudal of Nepal in reply to His Majesty's greetings cable on the occasion of him being elected as the President of his country. The State Council discussed the drafts of Labour Law and Social Protection Law, as well as the Economic Committee's opinion on them during its 8th session of the 4th convening round of the 7th term. The session also reviewed the report of the General Secretariat of the Council's activities. The session was chaired by His Excellency Sheikh Abdul Malik bin Abdullah Al Khalili, Chairman of the State Council. Salalah, Sohar and Duqm ports achieved a growth in its operations by 8% last year. The ports were able to handle more than 62 million tons of general cargo and growth rate of 10% compared to the year 2021. The three ports also handled 24 million tons of liquid cargo with a growth rate of 22%. The ports managed to handle 5,200,000 standard containers and more than 1.5 million livestock, as well as 72,000 vehicles. The number of ships received last year reached more than 6,500 ships. Oman Water and Wastewater Services Company NAMA launched floating and mobile water desalination plants in Musandam Governorate, which are the first of their kind in the Sultanate of Oman and the Middle East. These plants carry out water desalination, transport and distribution to 70 marine villages in the Governorate of Musandam through an advanced reversed osmosis technique. This technique goes in line with aims of achieving water security in the Governorate. His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, received today His Excellency Mohammed bin Nakhira Al Dhahiri, Ambassador of the United Arab Emirates accredited to the Sultanate of Oman. His Excellency the General welcomed His Excellency the Ambassador, wishing him success in his new duties as Ambassador of his country to the Sultanate of Oman. During the meeting, they reviewed the process of the relationships between the Sultanate of Oman and the United Arab Emirates, in addition to exchanging cordial conversations on a number of areas of joint cooperation between the two countries, and touched on a number of issues of common interest and ways to develop them. His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, also reviewed of the joint cooperation between the Sultanate of Oman and the Islamic Republic of Iran during his meeting with His Excellency Ali Najafi Khorshidi, Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran, accredited to the Sultanate of Oman. During the meeting, cordial conversations were exchanged on a number of common areas of cooperation, and relationships between the Sultanate of Oman and the Islamic Republic of Iran was reviewed, as well as a number of issues of common concern and ways of enhancing them. The main committee for the elections of members of the Shura Council for the 10th term held its first meeting in the presence of the ministers of the committee. The committee discussed many topics on agenda, the task it undertakes during the electoral period, and everything that would conduct its work in accordance with the specified terms of reference. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Engineer Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Interior. Meeting of Main Committee for elections of the 10th Shura Council members. Al-Dhahira Governorate has signed 4 agreements in the field of digital transformation with a number of companies to keep pace with current technological developments. The first agreement stipulated the establishment and development of the Governorate's electronic services portal projects, while the second agreement stipulated the implementation of project to limit the simplified procedures, which aims to improve operational efficiency and simplify government procedures. The third agreement provides for the implementation of the technical infrastructure improvements project, while the fourth agreement provided for the implementation of the project to expand the electronic network and communication lines in Al-Dhahira Governorate. The National Multi-Hazard Early Warning Center issued a weather alert based on the latest analysis, which indicates that an upper air throw will affect the Sultanate starting from tomorrow evening until Friday morning. As per the alert, there are chances of cloud advection and isolated thunder showers associated with occasionally fresh downforts over Hajar Mountains and adjacent areas. The peak of the effect of the trough is expected over the governorates of South Al-Sharqiyya, North Al-Sharqiyya, Al-Wusta, and Al-Dakhliya. And now for the international world, Sudan's embattled capital awoke today to a third day of heavy fighting between the army and a powerful rival force for the control of the country, as the weekend civilian death toll rose to 97 and 365 injured. Airstrikes and shelling intensified in parts of Khartoum and adjoining city of Omdurman. A sustained firing was heard near the military headquarters, with white smoke rising from the area. Residents hunkering down in their homes reported power outages and incidents of looting. The Arab League held on Sunday an emergency meeting in Cairo, where representatives of Arab states discussed the ongoing military conflict in Sudan. The meeting, called for in Egypt and Saudi Arabia, came a day after fresh clashes erupt between the Sudanese armed forces and the rival paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, following days of tension over the RSF's integration into the armed forces. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned clashes in Sudan and have left dozens of civilians dead, including 3 workers for the global body's food agency, demanding swift justice over the killings. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu reported to President Vladimir Putin today about Navy drills conducted by the Pacific Fleet. In footage released by the ministry, Shoigu was shown saying that the drills included imitation strikes on enemy Navy groups in the Pacific. Putin responded by saying that the snapshots had shown the Pacific Fleet, which is based in Far Eastern Russia, was at a high level of readiness and that Russia's priority was Ukraine. The Russian armed forces carried out dozens of attacks on positions of the Ukrainian defenders in eastern Ukraine, according to the General Staff in Kyiv. A total of 45 Russian attacks were repelled around Bakhmut and Marnik. Kyiv said a UN-brokered initiative allowing the safe Black Sea export of Ukrainian grain was in danger of shutdown after Russia blocked inspections of participating ships in Turkish waters. Ukrainian Black Sea ports were blockaded after Russia's invasion last year, but access to 3 of them was cleared last July under a deal between Moscow and Kyiv and was brokered by the United Nations and Turkey. The agreement, intended to help ease of a global food crisis, was extended last month, but Ukraine said a number of cargo ships passing through Bosporus carrying Ukrainian agricultural products was critically low. Russia did not respond to any commands, but Kremlin said prospects for the renewal of the grain deal were not so bright. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The State Council discusses the labour law projects and its role in promoting investments and renews the social protection law tomorrow. Salalah, Sohar and Duqm ports achieve an operational growth by 8% last year.